Today I'm going to show you how to make your own silk scarf. Silk scarves can be a really beautiful accessory that can instantly elevate any outfit. I love wearing them on my neck. You can wear them on your hair. You can tie them around a purse. You can even wear them as a belt or on your wrists. There's just endless ways to wear a scarf. Buying a 100% silk scarf can be really expensive. But if you make your own, not only would you save money, but you can make it any color, any size. You can make it any way you like. You can add any detailed touch to it. You can just get really creative with it. But in this video, I'm going to stick to a very simple 22-inch silk chiffon scarf, and I'm just going to show you my method, just one way, how you can finish those edges. Very simple and easy. Here I have tissue paper and my silk chiffon. I'm going to cut this fabric sandwiched between two pieces of tissue paper. And you can use any type of paper. You can use newspaper, you can use like wrapping paper. It doesn't really matter, but I highly recommend anytime you're cutting lightweight or slippery fabric to sandwich it between paper, or at least put paper beneath it. You'll get a much more accurate cut. If you don't use paper, your cut can be all over the place. You'll have jagged edges. I don't recommend it. It's just very challenging and tricky to cut. Here I've laid out this beautiful silk chiffon on top of a roll of tissue paper, and then I'm going to layer the top also with a tissue paper. So my top paper, I've already drawn a square because this is what size I want to cut. You can make your scarf any size. For this tutorial, I'm making a 22-inch square scarf. So I'm placing that on top of the fabric, and then I'm just going to cut this. Just make sure you take your time and you cut this very carefully. Now that it's all cut, I'm going to go to the machine and start finishing the edges. But before I do that, I am going to do a test stitch on a sample of this fabric. So here I've got my stitch length at 2, and then I've got my tension a little bit looser around 3, 2.5 to 3. You might have to play with your machine and make sure you do a test, because chiffon is really tricky, not just to cut, but also to sew. Okay, and so that looks pretty good on both sides to me. I'm going to go ahead and start finishing the edges on my scarf. So step 1, I'm going to take the first edge and I'm going to stay stitch at 1/4 inch from the edge. I'm lining that up with the edge of the foot on my machine. So I'm just going to stitch straight across. Now I'm ready to fold it over and stitch, but before you do this, if your fabric has a right and a wrong side, this fold should be towards the wrong side of your print. Mine does have a right and wrong side, but it's so slight you can barely tell. So unfortunately you can't see how I'm doing this, but I am folding it over towards the wrong side of the fabric here. So I'm folding over right along that stay stitch line, which was at 1/4 inch, and I'm lining that up with the inside of the foot. So I'm basically stitching right along the edge, about 1/8 of an inch or so from the edge of this fold. And again, the fold is right along that stay stitch. This does take a little bit of time. You do need to kind of be very careful. Again, I'm working with chiffon, and any lightweight or slippery fabric is going to be a bit tricky. So just be patient with yourself and take your time. It's only 4 corners. Once you're done, it's really worth it. Now for the last step, I'm going to fold over one more time, and I'm going to stitch right along the previous stitch in the previous step when I folded on the folded edge. Now I'm going to go ahead and repeat this on the other 3 corners of this scarf. Now for this folded edge, I do try to pin this down because it's tricky to get it under the foot of the machine. So I pin that corner and make sure it lines up nicely, and then I go ahead and stitch and finish that edge. And you notice on some of these, I do have to stop and cut any frayed strands that are kind of sticking out, make sure it's nice and clean. After I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and go to my iron and give this a nice press, making sure my iron is set on a setting that's safe for pressing silk. So I don't want to burn this beautiful fabric. So just going through and pressing each of these edges nice and flat. And then I'm done with my scarf, and now I can wear this with my outfits and add a beautiful design detail. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you make your own lovely silk scarf and wear it whatever way you like to wear it. Happy sewing, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next video. Ciao.